Hey guys, so okay, welcome back to Danganronpa 2, Goodbye Despair. Let's carry on where we left off. This is the most bizarre case I've had to investigate. So far in Danganronpa, I've got barely a clue of what's going on and what happened to poor Nekomaru. We just found out we're a reserve course student. So much going on. Anyway, I'll let you know my theories and trial prep. For now, let's go into Monokuma Rock. I'm so concerned about my findings. I've been thinking about this so much in my off time. The elevator shook violently as it descended at an ever-increasing speed.
Hey!
When we're in a normal elevator that shakes this bad, it reminds me how efficient that elevator in the funhouse was.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's probably true. The elevator continued to shake and descended deeper and deeper. There's not many of us now. There's 8, right? And suddenly, it stopped, like it always does. And the door opened. Oh...
Well now!
What the heck is this? I understand your desire to applaud this wonderfully vulgar trial ground.
Yahoo!
But it's so exhausting to discuss useless things, so let's just get on with it already. So sad. My chest hurts. Forcing everyone to do this is so sad.
Hey! Come on now!
Hey! Don't go talking without permission after I've said my catchphrase.
Now I'm really angry!
Otherwise, I'll roll a dice, and based on the result, I'll give you a sex change operation that many times.
Hey!
What an extreme punishment.
Now then!
Let's get on with it once again. Let's get a move on, boys and girls. And so it begins. I hoped this would never happen again. And now it's happening for the 4th time. The curtain to the 4th class trial was about to open. Nekomaru Nidai, the ultimate team manager. He was more passionate, more daring, more honest than anyone I'd ever met. And now he lies mangled in pieces, for goodness sake. Truly, he was more man than any of us. He sacrificed his body to protect Akane, and his appearance changed drastically because of that. But he still tried to live earnestly. And just when I finally got used to his new form... Nekomaru's killer. They took him down after he finally came back to us as one of us. Killing someone because it's the only way to survive is no excuse. I won't let this be excused. I won't forgive this. The person who betrayed Nekomaru, who betrayed their friends, I will never, ever forgive them. And so, this life-threatening trial, billowing with hope and despair, has begun. Hajime stealing a couple of my lines there, never forgiving the killer. An intense survival game awaited at the funhouse. Right when everyone had their backs to the wall, Nekomaru was killed. The barrier to the final dead room has been broken, and the ultimate weapon rises from its deep sleep. What the heck is the ultimate weapon? I don't freaking know. Anyway, time to set some skills. Be right back. Alright, let's go over our skills. What do we got? We got Menacing Focus. Greatly increases the focus gauge. Effective during the class trial. We got this from Usami, raising her as a pet. We've got Infinity Unlimited Flame, which we got from maxing out Gundam's Hope Fragments. Increases the power of the silencer, effective during the non-stop debate. Will stop us from having to spam the silencer all over the place and accidentally reducing our time. And we got Melodious Voice, increases damage to the opponent when a statement is destroyed during the PTA, so we can get that done a little bit faster as well. Okay, time for the truth bullets. Here we go. Oh boy. We got Monokuma file number 4. The victim is Nekomaru Nidai, aka Mekomaru, after his robotic transformation. His body was discovered in Grape Tower, which is inside the funhouse. His head is severely damaged and beyond repair, so that shall be considered the cause of death. Despite the fact that his arms and legs are dismembered, these limbs were actually designed to be detachable, and it seems they are separated due to a severe impact. Aside from that, several other areas of this body are damaged. Because of this, many of his functions seem to have shut down. So they were separated due to a severe impact. They weren't unscrewed or anything, or they weren't detached. Like they were designed to be. They were forced off him, right? We got a wire. Nekomaru's body and left leg were tied with a metal wire. The tip of that wire was also tied into a loop. Good night button, a button on the back of Nekomaru's neck. When this button is pressed, all of Nekomaru's functions cease, and he is forced to enter sleep mode. Oil on the floor, oil that was flowing out of Nekomaru's body. The majority of it came from his fatal head wound. Tipped over pillar. One of the pillars on the side of the door was tipped over. The damaged area of the pillar was also stained. It was so heavy that even 2 people couldn't budge it. New looking hammer, an enormous hammer found on the floor of the tower. It was completely clean, almost as if it was brand new. So this is clearly like a fake weapon lying around, right? Chain. A chain was wrapped around the handles of the door at the back of Grape Tower. For some reason, the killer was able to enter the tower from Strawberry Hall. Akane's account. Apparently Akane heard a rumbling noise at around 5:30 a.m. Pillar of fragments. A lot of small pieces of stone were scattered underneath Nekomaru's body. However, there were no fragments on top of his body. Just like a protein shake. Fuyuhiko's account. Apparently Fuyuhiko saw Nekomaru walking toward the first floor of Strawberry House at 5 a.m. Wall clock at 5:30 a.m. The alarm of wall clock in the lounge on Strawberry House's second floor starting going off. Fuyuhiko was at the lounge by coincidence and managed to stop the alarm, but Kazuichi and Gundam rushed to the lounge after being alerted by the sound. However, Nagito was apparently the only one who didn't hear it. That is so strange. What the hell's up with that? Contact elevator. The contact elevator, used to move between both houses, was broken and no longer worked. It was apparently broken at the Grape House side, so the last person to use it would have arrived at Grape House. Strawberry Hall's button. The button in Strawberry Hall that opens the door leading to the tower was broken. Nagito's sudden appearance. Nagito was supposed to be at Strawberry House, but he appeared at Grape House via some unknown method. The contact elevator should have been broken. Kazuichi's account. Apparently the compass's needle spun 180 degrees while it was inside the contact elevator. So it's proof that the elevator spun around rather than going up and down or side to side, right? Clock's alarm timer. Nekomaru's used this alarm clock to recover from sleep mode. The clock's arms are stopped at around 7:30 and the alarm was set to 7:30 as well. Radio clock. The clock in Nekomaru's chest receives radio waves at fixed intervals and automatically adjusts itself if its time is off. Basically, it's an amazingly precise clock that can't be tampered with, not even to set the time. Broken doorknob. A doorknob found under the tipped over pillar. The screws at the base are pulled out and there are some scratch marks on the knob itself. One of the doorknobs from the back door of Strawberry House was missing, so this doorknob was originally attached to that door. Strange feeling in the tower. Regardless of whether you enter the tower from Grape Hall or Strawberry Hall, the placement of Nekomaru's body, the tipped over pillar, the oil stains, and even the disassembled parts, or the disassembled parts, Kazuichi arranged look exactly the same. So, what the hell is that all about? I have this wacky ass theory, you guys are not gonna believe me. And if it's correct, I will actually shit my pants. So, I did a crude drawing of the thing, I'll bring it up now, hopefully, of what I think the funhouse looks like. Sorry for the poor effort. But I think that the houses, Strawberry House and Grape House, are not actually connected together, but rather they're side by side, and the elevator is what links them rather than the tower itself, right? And I was thinking that the hallways leading towards the towers will act like, you know, gates, like an airport gate, and the tower moves between them. Does that sound about right? I don't know. It's kind of my theory, and it explains why, you know, people can't be in the tower when they push the buttons and whatnot to open the doors, because the tower would move and that would give away the secret of the funhouse. But what was Nekomaru doing in there? We know that Fuyuhiko saw him, supposedly, this is according to his account, right, at 5 a.m. Now, what time does Nekomaru, he's got the clock that is never wrong, right? I suspect that the clocks in both houses have been tampered with to be set 2 hours behind, because Nekomaru probably went to the tower at 7 a.m. He thought it was 7 a.m. Or he knew it was 7 a.m., sorry, to go to Monokuma Tai Chi, but everyone else was 2 hours behind, which explains why Fuyuhiko saw him going downstairs. And then he must have died half an hour later, right? And that syncs up with the 5:30 clocks in the lounge and the 7:30 in his body, which is when it stopped. Now, he tried to wake himself up. I have a feeling that Nekomaru must have discovered the secret of this tower. Maybe he was trying to escape? Is this why he tied that wire to himself? Maybe he tied it to the pillar or something and he tried to use it as a brace to escape the tower or something? But he failed spectacularly and no one actually killed him? Maybe this is just an accident? I mean, we also have to think to the fact that these cases have been very similar to the very first game, right? The very first killing game. And if that's the case, then case 4, where Sakura committed suicide, could Nekomaru really have committed suicide? I don't know. I mean, it would sync up with the first game, but did he have a reason to? I don't know. Anyway, I've done enough rambling. I don't know if, like, that's all I can think of. I don't want to think anyone else is the killer, so let's forget that business. That's it. I guess that's enough rambling for me. I've said a lot of random shit. Probably just smirking and laughing at my random theory. Especially since I don't know what Nagito saw outside. I don't know why the buttons were broken. I don't know why the elevator was broken. So many unanswered questions. Let's get in here. Come on. What do we got?
Now then, let's begin with a simple explanation of the class trial.
The design of this room. It's like case 5 though, not chapter 4.
During the class trial, you will present your arguments for who the killer is and vote for who done it.
Mikan's cross is a bit strange, isn't it? It's like a first aid sign, sort of.
If you vote correctly, then only the blackened will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong person, I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and that person will earn the right to leave this island.
If there is a killer, I don't want to believe any of you guys killed Nekomaru, especially he just came back to us.
I'm sure you guys are starving by now, but let's get revved up and raring to go. Whoever survives will be treated to a fancy lunch. Guess what? Rabbit curry is on the menu.
Monami, you better get out of here.
Huh? I'm not the main ingredient, right?
I'm here today because Coach Nekomaru risked his life to protect me. I'm gonna be the one who avenges him. I'll definitely find out who the killer is.
We're all gonna do it together, except for the killer, of course.
I'm definitely not tempted by curry. Got it?
Akane, you seem to have an impressive amount of drool flowing from your mouth.
Hey, why don't we try going over the incident?
It's a good idea.
We weren't able to leave Strawberry House, so I want to make sure we get a detailed understanding.
I discovered Nekomaru's body a little before 7 a.m. I headed over to Grape Tower for Monokuma Taichi and found the body there.
We were with you, right?
Hajime and Chiaki were also with me.
And we're assuming it's 7 a.m., but Monokuma did say that none of us showed up for Monokuma Taichi. Does that mean not Monokuma, Nekomaru didn't show up as well? Then where the hell did he go?
Hajime was with Miss Sonia and Chiaki that early in the morning?
So, you jealous?
Don't tell me you three were together since last night!
So what if we were, okay? We live in the same tower. Obviously we're gonna go together to freaking Taichi.
Imbecile! I am not some woman with flexible legs.
Shut down!
Of course you're not. You're much classier than that.
I love Sonia's conflict with Kazuichi this chapter. It's really
With legs like
hilarious.
those, I could probably do the splits real easy.
Kane, come on. No, now's not the time.
We just happened to run into each other on the first floor of Grape House and went to the tower together.
And then, the three of us discovered Nekomaru's body.
3 of us is enough to trigger the body discovery
The
announcement.
body discovery announcement was made soon after. Akane heard that and rushed over.
That's right, she came in later.
We heard the body discovery announcement too, from Strawberry House, obviously. As I recall, we found out the elevator was out of order, which left us stuck.
So we decided to go to the tower for the time being and headed for Strawberry Hall. But someone even broke Strawberry Hall's door button. We couldn't go anywhere because of that.
Thinking we should at least find some method to communicate, we set our sights on the lounge telephone.
Like, they broke everything, didn't they? Well, they didn't break everything, but they broke the Strawberry Hall button. They chained the Strawberry door. They broke the Grape House door and doorknob. The only thing that wasn't broken was the entrance from Grape Hall, right? Jeez, they really didn't want anyone getting into the tower for some reason. Does that mean that the only way in was via the Grape Hall doors?
Forget these boring intros. Let's talk about the killer.
We don't know who the killer is yet, Akane. We need to figure out how they did it first.
Anyway, it's definitely someone from Strawberry House.
Where does this theory come from? How do you know?
What do you mean, definitely?
There's no way a chick would kill someone so cruelly. So it must be one of you Strawberry House dudes. One of you better hurry up and confess, or I'll break all of you in half!
I mean, like, and wasn't Nekomaru, he sustained, like, significant damage to himself, right? Like, we are all so hungry. How can anyone have the energy to pummel him?
You're the cruelest one here!
Now, Enough with the lovers' quarrel. We need to think about this seriously. We don't have the luxury of discussing irrelevant things. The incident this time has many questions.
You're right, Chiaki. There's just so much to discuss.
The incident notwithstanding, I also have many questions.
Then let's start with something even Miss Sonia can understand. The weapon. Well, the weapon is obvious, right? What the heck, you guys? The weapon! You could totally tell just by looking.
You're gonna say the hammer, and we're all just gonna say it's not, right? I'm guessing that's it. You can tell what the weapon is just by looking? It wouldn't be much of a mystery if that were true. The only thing at the crime scene that looked like a weapon was probably the hammer. But it was too clean, wasn't it? New looking hammer. That's probably gonna be the bullet here.
I guess we should figure out the weapon first.
The weapon was right there at the scene of the crime!
Much better.
That pillar, huh?
No.
No, the hammer! The killer used that hammer and beat the crap out of him!
If it was unexpected, I suppose that is possible.
That's right! It was a surprise beating! The weapon is decided!
That's gotta be Nagito. The hammer in the tower was the weapon. Like you said, it looks like that's the case, but it's too
I
clean.
guess we should figure out the weapon first.
Quite conveniently so.
The weapon was right there at the scene.
That pillar, huh?
No, the hammer! The killer used that and beat the crap out of him!
No.
No, that's wrong!
There'd be like damage to the hammer, right? And some oil as
No,
well. Like
I can't accept that that hammer was the murder weapon.
with like some dents on it.
Why not? Why can't you accept it?
A lot of oil was flowing from Nekomaru's body, just like human blood, right? If the hammer was used to beat Nekomaru, you'd expect some oil to be on it at least.
Right?
But that hammer was clean. So that's why you can't accept that it's the murder weapon.
Well, yeah, but the killer might have wiped off the oil later.
With what? And why?
Why?
Well, obviously, to make the hammer look like it's not the murder weapon.
Then they would have like taken it with them or hidden it. Why would they leave it there?
Then why bother cleaning the oil? If they didn't want it to look suspicious, they would have discarded the hammer.
But why did they put the hammer there? I don't understand.
You're pretty insightful, baby
Are
gangsta.
they just trying to mislead us?
Baby gangsta? Me?
Or maybe Nekomaru needed to use it for something. Like Nekomaru, we need to figure out who's also gone through the final dead room, right? And you should never say that, Akane. Seriously.
Just so you all know, I was trying to test you guys.
Of course.
I thought, maybe you guys mistook the hammer for the weapon or something.
It seems that was a waste of time.
Then what was the real weapon used to murder Nekomaru?
Like, we've got the pillar, which has some oil on it.
That's the problem. There wasn't anything else at the crime scene that looked like a potential weapon.
And he is tied up. Like,
Then, how about we look at it from a different angle? If it doesn't have oil on it, it's not the weapon. So whatever has oil on it must be the weapon, right?
so I guess we're gonna turn our attention to the pillar now. The actual weapon has oil on it. But if it's something at the crime scene that had oil on it, the broken pillar.
I see!
The only thing with oil on it is that broken pillar.
Then that pillar is the weapon. Coach Nekomaru got clobbered with that pillar.
Not in the way you're thinking, I'm sure.
Nobody could withstand a blow from that pillar. Even if you used 100% of your muscle strength, it would be impossible to wield it as a weapon.
Why?
Why are you asking why?
We tried to move it, right?
We literally... I indulged you in this test. It's no use. It's barely budging. Didn't I tell you?
Yeah, that pillar was pretty freaking heavy.
It's like using a lamppost on the street as a weapon.
But there's one dude who could have lifted that pillar.
Nekomaru.
Huh? Who are you talking about?
Coach Nekomaru's robot body. With that dude's super strength, lifting a pillar would be real easy.
But why would he lift it?
So, he lifted the pillar, and then what? Did he use it to beat himself?
Sorry, I shouldn't be laughing.
You mean Nekomaru killed himself?
I just had a weird image of Nekomaru just grabbing this huge pillar and trying to whack himself in the head with it.
Don't be stupid! He ain't the type to commit suicide!
Suicide, eh?
Then even if Nekomaru could have lifted that pillar, it has nothing to do with the case at all.
Could it really be suicide? There's too many similarities.
Well, I guess you're right.
I don't know, I feel like this is important to remember, right?
What the heck?
But it does bother me a little. That word, suicide. Yeah, he's gonna bring it up. By the way, the fourth murder of the killing school life was apparently ruled a suicide. Huh? No, that shouldn't matter. There's no way Nekomaru would commit suicide. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. He doesn't have a reason to, unless something comes up.
But that's a problem. If it's not the pillar, then there's no other weapon we can think of.
But then why is Hajime thinking about it, you know?
There may be a way to use the pillar as a weapon without lifting it.
Who is guiding this game to recreate the first one?
Huh? For real?
So many questions. You know what? I'm so glad that I'm going into this trial and I just don't have any answers. Like, I'm quite happy to just let Danganronpa take over, take me through the twists and turns, and we'll just figure it out as we go through the debates, right?
Yes, for reals.
I see. So my gut was right after all. All right, it's up to you, Sonia. Prove that pillar was the murder weapon.
Understood. Then I shall give it my all. Sonia, here I go!
It's like a superheroine. Operation... What was the murder weapon? There we go. 7 bullets, I guess, is just the norm now.
There's no need to lift that pillar.
Go, Sonia.
The pillar was not lifted.
I need to read the white noise more.
Beating him with it is beyond a dream.
I'm always just shooting through it.
What about tipping the pillar over? They aimed right for his head and bullseye.
Tipping it over.
Even I could probably tip it over.
We don't have much time on these debates
Considering
now.
the pillar's weight, it probably exerted a ton of force.
Sonia, you go, girl! I'm getting hella excited!
The killer murdered Nekomaru by tipping over that pillar? Is that really it? No, he would have seen them, surely.
There's no need to lift that pillar.
If the pillar was not lifted,
What do we got?
beating him with it is beyond a dream.
Got the fragments.
What about tipping the pillar over?
Okay, let's focus on tipped over pillar and fragments. We got tipped over pillar. One of the pillars on the side of the door was tipped over. The damaged area of the pillar was also stained. It was so heavy that even 2 people couldn't budge it. We got pillar fragments. A lot of small pieces of stone were scattered underneath Nekomaru's body. However, there were no fragments on top of his body. If it fell on him, there would be fragments all over him, right? I'd have to go with this one.
They aimed right for his head and bullseye.
There's only 2
Even
weak
I
spots.
could probably
so
tip it
there's Sonia's one,
over.
and then there's Fuyuhiko's one, I believe.
Considering the pillar's weight, it probably exerted a ton of force.
I don't think it's to do with the weight.
Sonia,
could
you
use the other
go,
one.
girl! I'm getting hella excited!
Let's try this on Sonia's one. The killer murdered Nekomaru by tipping over the pillar. Is that really it? That can't be.
There's no need to lift that pillar.
If the pillar was beating him with it is beyond...
What about tipping the pillar over?
No, that's wrong!
Can't be. It must have already been, like, on the
If
ground.
Nekomaru was crushed by the pillar, then there should have been fragments on top of his body.
Huh? Fragments?
Yep. It's quite a familiar
Pillar
dilemma.
fragments were scattered beneath Nekomaru's body, but there weren't any on top of his body. If the pillar had been tipped over and crushed him, the fragments should have been on top of his body instead.
Exactly. If it fell on top of you, debris shouldn't go underneath your body when you collapse.
I briefly considered that too. But it's probably not what happened.
I see. That was entirely my bad.
Hey, don't feel bad. We gotta discuss all these possibilities. That way we can start ruling them out and we can figure out what the hell happened.
If they didn't tip it over, then how did the killer murder Nekomaru with that pillar?
Was the pillar really the weapon, though?
How much longer are you gonna focus on the pillar? Just let it go already!
What the hell happened? And like... So carrying on from what I said about him trying to escape the tower or something while it was moving, he must have shut his senses off. He must have put himself to sleep using the goodnight button. That's why his alarm was set for 7:30, so he'd probably wake up while the tower was moving. And he tried to... I don't know what happens when the tower moves. There's walls and stuff, so... I don't freaking know. Why did he set the alarm for 7:30? He must have set it himself.
There's no way I can let it go. I'm positive that Nekomaru was killed by that pillar.
He must have woken up, something happened, there was that huge smash, which was probably the pillar falling. And then a couple of seconds later... No, sorry, not a couple of seconds later. Seconds before that, the clock was ringing in the lounge of the Strawberry House, but not Grape House, for whatever reason.
Why are you so certain about that?
I just have a feeling.
Kane's quite convinced it's the pillar.
A feeling, huh? That's just your instincts.
And I'm thinking, like, remember the traitor? Sakura was the traitor. Could Nekomaru be the traitor in this case? The traitor died in case 4 last time. Or maybe it's Akane because she's quite similar to Sakura, right? She's athletic, buff. Well, not buff, but she's strong.
But we can't say for sure that that instinct is wrong, can we?
Huh? Nagito's finally contributing something?
There's another way to use that pillar to kill. You guys just haven't noticed it.
Is that true?
How?
Then I shall ask you, what way is that?
You guys... the same as usual.
Man, he's getting real tired of our shit, isn't he?
You're unable to clear a path to the future with your own powers. So you just stand there and falter.
What happened to you thinking you're worthless? Now you think you're hot shit.
What a waste of talent. And you all intend to fight the Future Foundation? You make me laugh.
What the hell did you see?
What did you say?
Regardless, it's not like I want to die with the rest of you. So I guess I should lend a hand.
Well, he doesn't want to die anymore.
Hey, Nagito. What the hell happened to you? How come you're not talking like a lunatic anymore?
I've learned a valuable lesson. Ignorance is by far the greatest shame.
I don't know what I like more, lunatic Nagito or cocky Nagito.
What do you mean?
What the hell?
Who cares? Just tell us how the pillar was used to kill.
Well, first of all, the pillar itself is not enough. But when combined with a specific item, there's a way it could be possible.
The wire?
A specific item?
Of course, the ultimate weapon.
Ultimate weapon. What the hell could it be?
Ultimate weapon?
Like... He looked out the window and he was satisfied. He was quite pleased with himself, wasn't he? He started laughing maniacally for God knows what reason.
Isn't that the thing you get when you clear the final dead room?
Yes. We need to know who beat it.
So, Nagito knows what the ultimate weapon is?
And not Nagito. Like, Nekomaru shouldn't have any trouble beating it, right? He's pretty much like a robot. He could play the freaking Russian roulette with all bullets in the chambers and he'd survive, surely. So he could play like the ultimate difficulty.
Of course I know. But I'm pretty sure everyone else has seen it, you know?
Seen it?
We've seen it?
That's right. You've seen it clearly. Because I, the one who has claimed dominion over evil, am the ultimate weapon!
He was right in front of us this entire time, guys. Once you beat the final dead room, Gundam Tanaka is what greets you on the other side.
I am he who cuts the insolent catalyst which flows out from the chaos with the sword of victory.
Oh, goodness me, Gundam.
It's only fitting that I deserve to be called the ultimate weapon!
No, you are far greater than the ultimate weapon, since you wield your 4 dark devas of destruction.
I see.
Gundam, the Dark Lady is like all up in you right now. She's really admiring him all of a sudden. Poor Kazuichi.
I don't know why, but I'm not liking this.
Yep, he's jealous as a mofo.
Cut the bullshit and say it clearly. What is the ultimate weapon?
Right, let's reset focus. What the hell is the ultimate weapon?
In order to clarify that, we first need to solve the secret of the funhouse.
Huh? The secret of the funhouse?
You still don't realize it? Jeez, get it together. You're supposed to be the symbols of hope, aren't you?
Damn it.
Ah, I forgot. Except for Hajime, of course.
Low blow, man.
Except for Hajime?
If we make it out of this, I'll explain it to you guys.
Yeah, I need my full attention on this. I don't want to be feeling bad about myself.
Anyway, we must first clarify the secret of the funhouse, right? Then I think it must have something to do with the structure of the funhouse. Strawberry House leads to Strawberry Tower, and Grape House leads to Grape Tower.
See, we've been assuming it's like this entire time, but it's not, is it? Because the elevator turns around 180 degrees, so Grape House must be underneath where Strawberry House is.
But in actuality, they are both the same building, and both houses are linked to the central tower.
And that's why I assume the tower must move, like, laterally down, because everything stays the same, right? Even when you open the door from either side. Nekomaru will always be on the far side, the pillow is always going to be on the left side.
It is undeniable that such a sweet building structure is the secret of the funhouse.
Man, not only does that make perfect sense, but Miss Sonia's beautiful voice is just so soothing.
Faux show! I shall leave this matter to your discretion.
Oh, Sonia, you've got away with words, lady. The two houses are connected to the tower in the middle. I thought that at first too, but that can't be right now. I ended up finding proof that completely contradicts that. They've got to be... Wire, goodnight button, tipped over pillar, for Yigo's account, wall clock, broken doorknob, strange feeling in the tower. Exactly. It's gotta be this one.
In truth, Strawberry Tower and Grape Tower are actually the exact same place.
So that's the secret of the funhouse.
Is that really it?
They're the same, what the heck?
It's weird to say they're both the same place. I mean, the walls are different colors. And the designs on the floor are also different.
We've already established
We've
why,
already
though,
settled
haven't we?
this problem. Give it 10 years before you argue with Miss Sonia.
I don't think it's any of Akane's things, I think it's Sonia's. This whole time we've been thinking the two towers are the same building, but... if that was the only mystery, there's no way Nagito would mention it here.
In truth, Strawberry Tower and Grape Tower are actually the exact same place.
Exact
So
same
that's
place.
the secret of the funhouse.
I mean, we did find
that
the
really it?
handbook and stuff in the same, and Nekomaru's body, obviously.
It's weird to say they're both. I mean, the walls are different. And the designs on the floor are also.
We've already settled. Give it 10 years before you argue with Miss Sonia.
This whole time we've been thinking the two towers are the same building, but if that was the only mystery, there's no way Nagito would mention it here.
In truth, Strawberry Tower and Grape Tower are actually the exact same place.
No.
No, that's wrong!
Not exactly the same.
Both of those towers, are they really the same place?
Why are you asking that now? Do you harbor a grudge because my kingdom destroyed your homeland?
No.
Hajime, I won't tolerate any sort of rebellion.
You should have said that to me before. Because apparently I instigated a revolution against Hope's Peak Academy.
I mean, doesn't it seem strange? When we went to Grape Tower from Grape Hall, Nekomaru's body was in front of the door to Strawberry Hall.
Exactly.
But when we went to Strawberry Tower from Strawberry Hall, his body was in front of the door to Grape Hall.
It's probably some kind of trick, like the floor rotating 180 degrees or something.
Obviously it's a trick, it's a funhouse.
If it is, then see? That means it could have passed as the exact same place, right?
If so, then what? Do you seriously think such a simple answer is the correct answer?
Oh boy.
Does that mean he's wrong?
Oops, I guess I've said too much.
If the floor didn't rotate, then that means we need to think about the structure of the building again.
Exactly.
Bow down!
Oh... Miss Sonia?
Then how about this? Somebody moved Nekomaru's body.
Who? We were all together.
While we were moving from Grape Tower to Strawberry Tower,
weren't we?
But we should have all been together during that time. Even if they tried to move the body inside the tower.
They wouldn't have even had time.
Then Monokuma did it. While we were moving, Monokuma quickly moved things around.
No, he does. He has no reason to do that.
But Nekomaru's body wasn't the only thing moved. Are you saying the broken pillar was moved too?
If it is too heavy to carry, let them roll it. Just like if there is no bread, let them eat cake.
Okay, how the hell are we gonna do this one? Wire, oil on the floor, to pillar, new looking hammer, chain, pillar fragments, broken oil. Let's go with the broken
There
oil.
are many different ways. The body and the pillar could have been moved. The pillar could have been rolled. And Nekomaru could have been moved piece by piece. I decree it was Monokuma's doing.
Uh-oh, out of cuts. As expected of a princess, she's overcoming my arguments with great confidence. I need to counter her remarks and wait for an opportunity to refute her.
There are many different ways.
I need to be more efficient with my slices.
The body and the pillar could have been moved.
Oh, I could do like combos.
And Nekomaru could have been moved piece by piece. I decree it was Monokuma's doing.
I never actually thought of that.
Moving
always
the body and the
slicing
pillar in
through them
such a
as soon as
short
they
time.
appear.
That might be hard even for Monokuma, don't you think?
It
Exactly.
seems you have forgotten. Monokuma is surprisingly strong, wielding the power of the futuristic Robo-Bear. The pillar, the body, everything at the crime scene? He could have moved it all, easy as pie.
Shit. No, there's definitely a hole in what she just said. I need to show her the evidence that contradicts that.
It
was
seems you
it?
have forgotten. Monokuma is surprisingly strong,
It's so hard to
wielding
think
the power of the futuristic Robo-Bear.
while, like, doing this.
The pillar, the body, everything at the crime scene?
Chain, new looking hammer.
He could have moved it all, easy as pie.
Ah, danger. Okay, we're good. No, there's definitely a hole in what she just said. I need to show her the evidence that
It
contradicts
seems
that.
you have forgotten.
I don't have time to review my
Monokuma
plates
is
because I'm too busy
surprisingly
slicing
strong,
through this.
wielding the power of the futuristic Robo-Bear.
Chain, pillar fragments,
The
broken door,
pillar,
wire,
the body,
oil on the floor.
everything at the crime scene? He could have moved it all, easy as pie.
No, you can't move the oil.
It seems you have forgotten. Monokuma is surprisingly strong, wielding the power of the futuristic Robo-Bear. The pillar, the body, everything at the crime scene.
Yes.
Allow me to cut through those words!
You can move the pillar, you can move the body, but how are you going to move the stain?
Moving the body and pillar is
The oil
possible,
stains.
but it would have been impossible to move the oil on the floor.
They were in exactly the
When the
same
position
spots.
of Nekomaru's body and the pillar changed, the oil surrounding his body moved too. Physically moving all of the oil like that is simply not possible, no matter how you look at it.
Then it's impossible to think it was moved.
No one moved the body. No one moved the pillar.
I am terribly sorry. I cannot believe I got so fired up.
It's okay, it's me like every time I think I got a theory right and then I just end up getting blown away by the game anyways. So Sonia, don't worry about it. I know that feeling.
It's all right. A fired up Miss Sonia is awesome to watch.
So what really happened? Does that mean the two towers aren't the same building?
They've got to be the same building though, right?
We can't be certain of that either.
We left stuff in the tower that still appears when we access it from the different house.
Not when the experiment involving the handbook I left on the tower floor was a complete success.
Yeah, the e-handbook was still there. That's why we thought the two towers were the same building.
If they're not the same building or two different buildings, then what are they?
Jackie's thinking long and hard.
No idea, huh?
Give her time. This mystery ties into the secret of the funhouse. But we don't have enough clues to solve that mystery. Then, the only thing we can do is rely on the one person who has those clues. Well, he's gonna be super pleased about this, isn't he?
Hey, Nagito. I thought it would come to this. I knew my turn was coming up. Fine. I'll tell you guys a big hint that can help you solve the secret of the funhouse.
You're the one who got access to a window, okay?
Give us the answer, not a friggin' hint!
But then it wouldn't mean anything. I need you guys to do this class trial properly.
I have some suspicions about Nagito, certain suspicions.
It's also important for me because it will help me determine something.
I have a feeling he's a lot more involved in this game than originally thought. Determined? Is he talking about the traitor? If so, why did Nagito say that all of a sudden? Did something happen to him?
But how do we know your hint is any good? It's suspicious that you're the only one who knows it.
I have a good reason for that.
What are you up to?
The reason I'm the only one who knows it is because I was the only one who performed the appropriate action.
So you want to find out if anyone else knows it without having cleared the final dead room? He performed the appropriate action in order to learn the secret? Could he be talking about
I see!
a life-threatening game?
You're talking about the final dead room, right? You cleared the life-threatening game there and found something, didn't you?
That's right. The hint is what I saw after I cleared it.
Sorry, not all of us are as lucky as you putting 5 bullets into a gun.
In the depths of the final dead room, there was a hidden room surrounded by concrete. And there, a small conspicuous window waited, all by itself.
What the hell was outside that window?
From that window, I saw some very strange scenery.
Flying pigs, maybe?
Strange scenery?
Instead of explaining it, it might be faster just to show you. At an opportune time, I found a perfect camera in the final dead room.
Oh boy, here we go.
You took a picture?
Yep,
Nagito grinned creepily as he retrieved a small digital camera from his inner pocket.
see? This is it.
I'm scared of what I'm gonna see. And as he said that, he showed us a peculiar picture.
Let me explain it to you again.
Where the hell are we?
I took this picture on the first floor of Strawberry House, from the secret room within the final dead room.
Okay, I knew we weren't on a first floor. So that corridor there must be Strawberry Hall, leading to Strawberry Tower. There's no way that moves between the two houses, does it? Son of a bitch.
But don't you think it's weird?
Where the hell are we?
If the funhouse's structure is what you guys have been thinking,
Then where's Grape House? It's not on the other side of this tower.
then there's lots of things that don't make sense in this picture, right?
Lots of things that shouldn't make sense in this picture.
Then let's begin. Shall I call it thinking time?
Son of a bitch.